Hey guys, Papa Fox here. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're going to be talking once again about using eBay. Everything I talk about in this video is kind of like a follow-up to my video about buying on eBay. Everything that I said in that video applies to this one. So I'd recommend watching that video first because that's kind of the foundation that this video is going to build upon. But yeah, once again, this applies to all kinds of collectibles really, or to be honest, selling on eBay in general, but obviously with a particular focus on collectibles, pop vinyls, figures, that kind of thing. Of course, the very first thing you need to do when you're buying or selling on eBay is to know the value of your product. Now, for pop vinyls, obviously we have a couple of apps we can use, which can give us an idea of what a pop has been selling for. Namely Pop Price Guide, or for sterling, so for English currency, British currency, we have the Pop Directory, and for the most part this is relatively accurate. Like I said before, this is particularly accurate with lower value pops. Anything up to about £30 usually is pretty bang on. If you have anything that's more than that, you're going to want to check your sold listings. So I'm going to have a picture just there, and that'll just show you exactly where, when you log onto eBay, how you access sold listings. Because if you're selling on eBay, the most accurate reflection of the value of it is going to be what it's sold for, not necessarily what it's currently listed for, because if something sells out in terms of eBay listing, sometimes people go a bit nuts. But it's just having a bit of a mindset of being aware of the trending value. That's the way I think about it. Obviously, eBay is an international service. So when you are selling your pops, I suppose this is particularly for the anime ones, because the anime pops tend to be stocked more in the US compared to the UK and the rest of Europe. But you've got to understand what you're competing against. So I recently sold my Brook Pop, which was the 2018 New York Comic Con shared sticker, which has gone up astronomically in value. At one point I did listed for $300 because there were listings in America for $250, but then you would also have to pay postage and the import, so you need to take that into account when you're selling, because me offering it for $300, even though that's £50 more than the base price of other listings coming from the US, it was still the cheapest available for someone from the UK to buy it. So you take these things into account and just really know what your product is worth, because ultimately, you know, you're assuming the role of a retailer. You know, on eBay, you're advertising your product, you're competing against other products, so you need to know what it's selling for. And to that vein, you have to decide if you're desperate for the sale, if you really want to sell something, or if it's something you're happy to sit on eBay and will sell eventually. Because whenever I'm going to list something on eBay, the first thing I'll do is I'll search it up. I'll see what it's sold for recently, so I have an idea roughly of realistically what the price is, and then I'll see what's currently available. Because I think that's the key word I think sometimes people miss, is that currently available. Because ultimately, if you have a listing and you're the only listing in the UK, and you're the only one that's available for someone to purchase in the UK, you can kind of set that price to whatever you like, in theory. Like at the time when I listed, I don't think there were any other Brook Pops, so I could afford to list it for higher, because I know I'd still be cheaper than any of the American listings for a UK buyer. So obviously it's nice to be nice, and that brings us to my next point, is not to be closed to negotiations. So whenever I list something on eBay, I will always list it for higher than what I expect to get and what I would like to get for it. Because ultimately, if you've got the flexibility to bring your price down, someone's more likely to buy it. Okay, so I listed my Brook Pop originally at $350. Now, at that price, for someone in the UK to buy it, it would still be a lot cheaper for them to buy from me for $350 than to buy from America for $250, pay the postage and the import. They'd be looking at close to $400. So even though I'm offering the best price, I was still open to negotiation, because that's how you get people to buy. But then to that same vein, you have to be careful. If I'd have listed it for 4 to 450, 500, people are going to just look at that listing and think, that's too high, I'm not paying that. So you have to be sensible with how you do it. If you want the sale, if you just want to have a pop sat on eBay, let it mature, let the value raise up to it. So I could have put that brook on eBay for 400 to 450. And a year down the line, it might have sold for that. But I needed to sell that pop because I needed money. So I had to set it up so it would sell. But of course, you don't have to take the first offer fired your way. I had some real lowball offers, and you can actually on eBay set it so you have a minimum offer. So people were offering like £100 for it. I didn't even see those offers until I manually clicked on it, because eBay was just rejecting them for me, because it's a pop trending for over £300. I'm not going to take £100 for it. You know, so let people lowball all they like. You don't owe them a response to that, because I generally won't, because there's trying your luck and then there's just being cheeky, in my opinion. So I have two examples with regards to this, with this idea of offers. I suppose I should probably mention when I say offers, if you are completely brand new to eBay, when you make a listing, you have your buy it. You can either set it as an auction, so you start it as a starting price and you let people bid. That's the idea of bidding on eBay, and do that. Generally, I don't do the bidding thing because it can end up with it selling for much less than what you want for it. And unless you set a reserve, you can end up losing a lot. So that's kind of just if there's something that's relatively low value, less than £50 say, and you think maybe with bidding you may be able to get more than perhaps what it's worth, or like what you would get otherwise. I use buy it now listings just because I know I have a set price, and if people don't like that, I add the best offer option, because that lets people barter with you basically. Best offer just means that someone can make an offer on the product directly through eBay, and then you'll get it through. You get an email notification, you go into that, and you either accept or decline. You can send a message to it, you can make a counter offer, or you can just straight up decline it. So I would always have that open, but then you can also set it so there's a minimum offer. So when I had my brook, I had it set to 200 as minimum offers. That doesn't necessarily mean I was going to take 200, but if someone offered 200, I can start a negotiation at that point. But if someone's going to start off by straight away offering me 100 or less, I can just ignore it, because they're just going to waste my time, ultimately. So I have two examples of messages I got regarding my brook pop. I'm not going to say usernames, and I'm going to paraphrase, because I'm not trying to call anyone out. I'm just giving you examples of what works and what doesn't. And obviously, this is good advice if you're a buyer or a seller, because as a seller, it's going to give you an idea of what you might have to deal with. And as a buyer, it will let you know what works and what doesn't. So, the first message I got, to paraphrase, basically said, "You're being greedy. What's the lowest you'll sell it for?" Bruh. So, obviously, like I say, I'm paraphrasing. It was essentially someone was telling me that I had it listed for too much. I think their exact wording was something along the lines of, "You're asking for too much." Okay. So, this one I thought I would respond, because that might not necessarily be a nasty message. I think I gave them the benefit of the doubt and assumed that comment came from a place of ignorance. So I just responded saying, I use eBay sold listings to get my values, and I am the cheapest available right now. I am the cheapest it would cost you to get this pop within the UK. I'm one of the only ones with it available for sale within the UK, and you would be getting it by buying from me at the very cheapest. And I just made a point of saying, like, you know, because at the time brook was listed on TPD for 175, so I assumed that their point was that my initial asking price of 350 was obviously more than double that. But like I say, for the higher value pops that don't often sell, TPD is no good. So I just made a point of saying that's not, you know, TPD is not an accurate reflection of the value of this pop. Second example essentially said, "I really want to add this pop to my collection. Can we work something out?" And already you can see there's such a difference in tone. Because my initial reaction to this guy was, yeah, you know, I want this pop to go to a collector. I don't want to sell it for so little that someone's just going to then flip it over. I want this because I didn't really want to sell that pop. Honestly, it's a really great pop. And to be honest, the only reason I decided to sell it is because there is obviously a new Brook pop coming out. And if I wanted a pop of Brook that bad, I have an option to get one super cheap. So that was kind of my logic, and kind of also my logic why I ended up not selling my Trafalgar Law, because there is only one pop of him. But that was the guy who ended up buying from me. I ended up bringing my price right down to $280. So when you are selling on eBay, you need to take into account that you're going to be paying fees. I don't know what the exact amount is. I think it might be 12% of the total money you get from the sale. eBay take. But you need to accept that that's how that's going to be. By using eBay, you're putting out to a much larger market. You know, it's a worldwide thing. There are going to be collectors around the world who can see your listing, and you have a much higher chance of selling. If you sell to a person on a Facebook group, you've got a very limited pool, but if you are lucky enough to find someone who wants to buy from you, you may be able to make a bit more money. This is the risk you take, essentially. So to that extent, it is worth trying to sell your pop on the Facebook groups first. I tried to do that with my Brook. I didn't have any luck. But when you then post, like I say, on a global marketplace, you're gonna get more buyers, and you pay a percentage for that. My ultimate take home from the Brook pop, before I paid to post it, was $243. And, you know, you got to think, if I had found the right collector within the UK, I might have been able to sell it for nearly 100 more. But I needed the money, so I had to pay that amount to get it sold. So, your pop's sold. You've come to a deal, they've made a decent offer, and you've thought, you know what, yeah, that's alright, I can do that. What happens next? eBay will send a notification to your buyer, letting them know that they've won the item, a deal has been come to, and it's time for them to pay. They will then pay the price of the item you've got listed, including whatever you choose to charge as postage. Just as a bonus tip, which I can give you for free, free postage. Free postage. All the time. You know, take that loss. Take that loss. If you really need your item to sell, free postage. Even if that means, you know, taking that little bit more of a hit. You know, it cost me £8 to send out that Brook because I double boxed it. It got him to buy, because as far as, you know, it just feels like a more rounded price when you don't have to spend that extra. That's just, you know, general thing, because I like not paying postage, you like not paying postage, and so do your buyers. Think about it. So your item's sold. eBay used to work through PayPal. It used to be a very instantaneous process. Your buyer would send you the money, PayPal would take their cut, and at the end of the month, eBay would take their cut. But your money will be instantly available. Now it's slightly different. So now, eBay processes the money for 3 days. I don't really know what that means or why they do it, but basically, after your buyer has paid, 3 days roughly, except over a bank holiday, I found out the hard way. It takes a little bit longer. But roughly 3 days. Then, the money will be available for you to take. Now, if you're wondering why the 3 days have passed, and your money is still pending and it's not been sent to your account, I will put either a picture or a short video just on the side here, just showing that you can change your settings in eBay, in your payment settings, so that it does daily instead of weekly. Because if you're someone who's perhaps a business seller, you can set it so your payout happens weekly. But if you're someone who's just selling, like myself, just the odd thing every here and there, you can set it so it comes out daily. So as soon as it's done processing, it gets to a certain time of the day, and any money that's in that in your eBay pending will then be sent to your bank. So I hope that is of some use to you guys. Obviously, as with before, a lot of this is my opinions. A lot of this is selling on eBay. You know, like I say, it can be scary sometimes if you're shifting something worth a lot of money. But like I said about communication, like, keep an open line of communication, be friendly. Don't give someone a reason to try and screw you over. And in the same way, don't screw someone over, because eBay has a feedback system. If you're a good seller, you've got good conduct, you pack well, your product meets the description exactly as what is described in your listing. If that's what your buyer gets, they're going to have confidence to buying you again, and that's what you want. So I think that probably rounds up everything I have to say about eBay for now. If you do have any questions, obviously feel free to ask them below. I won't pretend to be some crazy expert. I've just got a lot of experience using eBay. Most of my pops have come from eBay, to be honest, and let's be honest, we've all made a purchase we regret, or we sort of suddenly fall out of love with the kind of set. I was originally for a while collecting the Umbrella Academy pops, went off it, had to shift them. So eBay is a good resource. I still think the number one resource to try first is Facebook groups, obviously using goods and services. I might do another video talking about that, just talking about selling privately on Facebook groups or through other smaller apps. But I think for now, I think I've given you a good foundation for using eBay. So again, like I say, any questions at all, I'm more than happy to talk to you. Comment down below, message me on Instagram. I'm always up for a chat about collecting and selling and trading and all that sort of stuff. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate you watching. I know it's probably a bit of a longer video. My camera's showing 27 minutes. I'm sure that'll go down quite a lot during editing, I hope. I don't want to have to split this into part 2 and 3. So thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. I think we're nearly getting through this global nonsense. Stay safe. Stay positive. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching my video.